May 2018. Israeli F-35s do something no American pilot has ever been cleared to try. They slip into Syrian airspace protected by Russian S-400s, strike Iranian positions, and vanish before anyone knows they were there. The mission succeeds because these aren't standard American F-35s. They're modified versions, flown under rules the Pentagon would never allow. While every other F-35 operator answers to U.S. oversight, Israel flies completely alone. That independence has turned its fleet into the most combat-proven stealth force on Earth. Israel didn't just fly the F-35 first in combat, it became the only nation to operate it independently. No American supervision. No centralized logistics. No waiting for permission to upgrade or deploy. While U.S. squadrons struggle with maintenance and grounded jets, Israel's F-35s keep flying, with readiness rates above 85%. They've logged over 15,000 combat hours, hitting targets from Yemen to Iran, even flying in beast mode with external bombs. How? Because Israel negotiated what no other ally ever got: total operational control. Every F-35 in the world depends on Alice, a U.S.-controlled system that manages mission data, maintenance, and updates from Fort Worth, Texas. Without it, you can't even launch. Israel took one look and said no. Alice was built for nations that fight once a decade, not for a country under daily missile fire. So Israel built its own system, runs its own maintenance, and installs its own software and weapons, without asking Washington. At first, the Pentagon refused. The F-35 source code is among America's most guarded secrets. But Israel made its case: we face Iranian proxies and Russian air defenses every day. We must adapt in real time. Washington eventually agreed, granting a level of autonomy no other partner, not Britain, Japan, or Italy, ever received. The result? America's F-35s hover around 65% readiness. Israel's soar above 85%. When U.S. jets need depot maintenance, they're shipped overseas. Israel's are fixed at Nevatim Air Base and back in the air the same day. July 2024. A Houthi drone from Yemen kills a civilian in Tel Aviv, 1,700 kilometers away. Israel decides to strike back. For most air forces, that's an impossible mission. Standard F-35s can only fly about 700 kilometers in combat. But Israel's engineers had prepared conformal fuel tanks that stretch range to 1,700 kilometers, while keeping stealth intact. The tanks detach before entering hostile airspace. The F-35s launch, fly the entire distance, hit their targets at Hodeidah port, and return home, no refueling, no losses. It's the longest-range F-35 combat mission ever flown. If America tried the same strike, it would need tanker support, regional permissions, and months of coordination. Israel just executed, alone. Defense Minister Yoav Gallant put it bluntly. No place is too far. Back in 2018, Israel shocked the world. Major General Amikam Norkin stood before 20 Air Force commanders and announced, "We are the first in the world to use the F-35 in operational activity." He showed a photo of an Israeli F-35 over Beirut, a silent message to Hezbollah: "We can reach you anytime." The jets had struck Iranian targets inside Syria, protected by Russian S-300s and S-400s, and escaped unseen. Syrian radar saw nothing until the explosions started. At that point, the U.S. hadn't flown a single F-35 combat mission. Israel had received its first jets only 18 months earlier, and was already using them in live fire. No bureaucracy. No hesitation. By 2025, Israeli F-35s were fighting in beast mode. Normally, F-35s hide weapons inside their bays to stay invisible. But beast mode adds external pylons, tripling the payload to 18,000 pounds, at the cost of stealth. Most nations would never risk it. Israel uses it strategically. Asterisk stealth for the opening strikes. Asterisk beast mode once defenses are down. 1 aircraft, 2 roles. Stealth penetrator and heavy bomber in the same mission. Israel is the only country to use the F-35 this way in actual combat. American doctrine forbids such flexibility. New tactics in the US take years to approve. Israel invents them in real time, on the battlefield. So why doesn't America just copy Israel's approach? Scale. Doctrine. Geography. The U.S. operates over 400 F-35s across 3 branches, with global bases and carriers. They need strict standardization, one system that works everywhere. Israel runs 46 jets from 1 air base. Every mission is within 2,000 kilometers. They can customize everything for their neighborhood war. The U.S. needs worldwide logistics. Israel needs survival, now. That's why it fought for independence from Alice, for access to the code, for the right to modify. No other ally faces existential threats on its doorstep or has the leverage to demand those terms. Both sides benefit. America gets real-world combat data from Israel's missions. Israel gets the freedom to fight its own wars its own way. The psychological impact on adversaries is enormous. Iran spent billions on Russian air defenses, and watched them fail. Their radars saw nothing. Their systems fired at ghosts. When even your best weapons can't protect you, deterrence collapses. That's the power of technological dominance, not just destruction, but fear. Israel doesn't need to threaten. Its enemies already know, the F-35 I can reach them anytime, anywhere. American F-35s project global power. Israeli F-35s enforce regional dominance. Different missions, same aircraft. But only one nation flies it without permission. This is modern warfare. Subscribe for more deep dive breakdowns into the future of air combat.